Hey, welcome everybody. Today we're talking about Geography 20, which is the Introduction to Geographic Information Systems, or GIS, course for Chabot College fall of 2022. So today, in this video, my goal, my purpose, if you've had my other classes, you understand this. I just want to spend a couple minutes talking about the course, giving you guys a little review of the syllabus and really discuss the best ways for you to be successful, in hopes that this provides you the guidance you need as you start taking this class. So I'm here on Canvas. All right, the whole course is going to be in Canvas. This is an online asynchronous class. And so all of your material, all of the content, all of your labs, your lectures, your book even, it's all right here. Okay, it's all right here on Canvas. And the first place I want you guys to look when you get into Canvas is this course information section. Okay, this module here. So this is going to have, obviously, this video. You can look at the syllabus here. My office hours are going to be Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. This is a little bit of information about the certificate offered at Chabot, which I encourage, and I'm hopeful that all of you attending will want to pursue that. You really only have to, after this semester, it's the spring where you take two classes with me. And if you've got physical geography also under your belt, then you're all set. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the syllabus first, and then I'll kind of come back and break down these things, okay? All right. So this is a 3-unit course. And if you have questions about whether this course is transferable to university, please let me know. As far as I understand, we have an agreement, or we've set up our courses, our GIS courses, to be transferable. But I've gotten feedback that some universities don't accept that because they are offering their courses as upper division. Ours would obviously come in as lower division. It just really is kind of a case-by-case basis. So if that's something that you wanted to pursue and had inquiries about, please let me know. Right, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Jeffrey Miller, okay? And I will be with you for this whole semester. I run the program at Chabot. I teach all the courses related to GIS and a couple other geography courses. And yeah, I've been around this industry and this business. We call it geospatial as a universal term, for almost 15 years. And so I was just like you guys before that, where I was trying to figure out what did I want to do with my career. What was it that I wanted to, explore. And I thought this was an interesting topic. And I took a course just like this, gosh, a long time ago, at a community college, and I just stuck with it ever since. So from there, I went on and got my bachelor's degree, worked in the field, worked in industry right away, just as an entry-level technician, kind of an intern. Really, it was like an intern position. That's the other thing. If you are hoping to kind of look to this as a future career potential, please stay in touch with me, because I have several, actually we've been kind of working together over the last few years that I started with Chabot, developing relationships with several industry partners. And yeah, they are, I've had a hard time actually sending students to them because I haven't had enough. So if that is a route you would like to pursue, please stay in touch with me and just reach out and say, hey, what does that mean? What does it look like? How do I get involved? I want a job in this stuff, just to explore it. Okay. I look forward to that. Really more at the start of the spring is when that cycle really begins, because you have to go through this course first, and then you're prepared to really start exploring what those options are. Reach out to me via email. That's going to be my most prompt response. And like I said, this course is remote, so we do not meet in class in person. There is a lab on campus, but we don't meet there. Okay. The expectation is that you guys can work really independently. Okay. If you're the type that wants to work in a group and you know people in the class, I mean, that's fine too. I don't care how you do that. But when you turn in work, it's individual submissions. So there is a little bit of a challenge in that, with that type of classroom, because I'm not there and your peers aren't there, or a teacher assistant's not there to, kind of guide you through what to do. But I've tried my best to put together material that is kind of step by step and helps walk you through this stuff as you go. Because this is asynchronous, that means we also do not meet up for any types of Zoom meetings on a regular basis. So I'll show you on Canvas. It's there. It's curated. You go week by week and you knock the stuff out. But again, at independently at your pace. Okay. Now, if you do want to talk to me, if you do need to discuss or technical help or one of these things about a career choice or classes, whatever, I don't know, just say hi. Come on over and see me in the office hours on Zoom. That is where I will try my best to stick to this. And if I have a conflict, I will let you know. The first week of class, I actually do have a conflict, so I will not be available for this. But starting the second week, my plan is to uphold this office hour Zoom time the best I can and be there for you. So just click on this link and you will be in my kind of open forum if you need to stop in and just check in on stuff and ask questions about homework or whatever it is. As far as your text is concerned, I put together a digital textbook. It really is what it is, but it's a series of individual chapters that kind of align well with the modules. And so yeah, you don't need to actually purchase any book. There's several very nice texts out there, but yeah, in this particular class, I decided to really just run with it on my own. So I will give you all of the reading material that you need. That will be provided, module by module as we go through this. So saves you a couple bucks. Okay. We are going to be using a lot of software. So this is a course that you need to have at least kind of a general computer literacy level of, like, how to copy and paste stuff, how to unzip files, that kind of day-to-day things. You don't have to be a super whiz, but if you're struggling to download files, it's going to be a challenge. And I'm not saying that to scare you off. I'm just kind of preparing you for what you need to know here. So software based, we will focus on a few different platforms from a company called ESRI, or Esri as we like to call it. And Esri is they're really, I guess the best way to put this is the largest GIS company in the world. Okay. And so they sell their software platforms to industry clients. I mean, they're worth a few $1 billion, I think, honestly. And one of their big markets is academia. So they like to really kind of indoctor students, whether you want to think of that as a good thing or bad thing. From an early get-go, to get you guys, it's what happened to me, and it's what happens to 99% of us that join this field. You start out with something from Esri. And when you go into the workforce, you're going to be using very likely an Esri product. So it's meant to prepare you for, what the job space would be like. So there's really let's see, two main platforms we're going to use. The first is called ArcGIS Online. Okay. And ArcGIS Online is a web-based software, so web-based mapping software. And there's no download or install or anything like that. It's all based in the web, so it's like a cloud thing. And ArcGIS Online is not only going to be used for making maps, but really it's going to be it's kind of an all-encompassing hub for your account and your projects, and also where you share all your information. You share your data and you share your projects. So it's for me, it's a nice repository to in an online classroom setting to go out and just find where your projects are. And we could be hundreds of miles apart from each other, but boom, I found your assignment. So there's no like, here's my disk with my map on it anymore, or my paper map. That stuff is long gone. I don't do any work like that anymore, just because it's not really practical in 2022. And this ArcGIS Online is it's just fantastic for what it does, and in our environment, it will serve us really well. So that's the first platform. The second one is called ArcGIS Pro. Okay, and ArcGIS Pro is a local software, and that means that you do have to download. You have to download the software package and then install it on your computer. Okay. Now, it is I say this with wanting to be as clear as possible. Okay, it is a Windows-based software. It is only a Windows-based software. Okay, it is only a Windows-based software. They do not have a Macintosh version. Just the way it is, you know. And so the fact of the matter is, you need to have access to a Windows machine to be successful in this course. Now, with that being said, we've worked really hard in the department to try and set up resources for students that either A, have Macs, or B, don't have computers at all, which is totally fine. We wanted to make this as inclusive and equitable to all students as possible. So if you are in one of those two categories and you're wondering right now, as you're watching this and asking yourself, well, how in the heck am I going to take this class if I don't have my own resources? Get in touch with me, okay? Get in touch with me. So I put right here, or actually in these two places, we have laptops on hold. I think there's several. I mean, it's more than 5, I think. So there should be enough to go around. We reserved them well ahead of time. We installed the ArcGIS Pro software on them. So really, it's just you renting the school's laptop or borrowing it's just the department's laptop by this point, for use exclusively for, you know, this class. Now, sure, you could write documents on it and other things, I guess. We don't really monitor that or care, but it's meant for school purposes, and you get to use it for as long as you're in one of my classes. Okay. So if you need one in the fall and you plan to take the class in the spring, well, then you could just hold on to it and basically have it for the whole year to work on. So yeah, those are specifically on campus, held in the social science department. And it's not something that you can just walk in and grab one. You have to get in touch with me first. There has to be some coordination, because these are very valuable pieces of equipment that we had to work really hard. It doesn't sound like much, but just to get IT involved with doing this over the summer was a big project. So we want to be able to give them to you so that you can use them right away. They are available right away, right now. So, but you got to get in touch with me and coordinate with me. And if it takes a couple weeks before you're able to go over there and get it, that's fine. I can give you extensions on your assignments. It's just a matter of getting it in your hands as soon as possible is very important. Don't wait 1, 2, 3 months or something like that, and then come to me and say, hey, I've never had a computer. I can't, or I was messing with my Mac and I couldn't get it to work. You know, that becomes really hot, really tough to justify. The labs that we have in this course are just one after another, and we bang them out. So if you get left behind, you know, even a few labs, it'll be tough to catch up. The other thing I want to mention about these resources is we have the Pro software installed on the computers. I think it's called the Learning Lab or Learning Connections Lab. It's downstairs. If you go to campus and you go to the library building, it's right when you walk, because most of the library stuff is on the second floor, I believe, but it's right on the first floor. When you walk in, there's like a little computer lab, and it's like open lab. And I think there are, I want to say 3 or 4 computers there that have ArcGIS Pro. So if that's more doable for you, if you're on campus and you don't, you know, that makes more sense, by all means. All you got to do in that case is go to the lab there and say, hey, I'm in, I need access to the ArcGIS software, and they'll set you up on a computer. I will say, if it was me and I was kind of choosing between these two options, I would pick the laptop, because you know, you're going to be needing to store data and kind of keep it housed and not potentially erased or something, you know, throughout the semester. And so if you have your own laptop, then, you know, you could kind of keep it safe and protected. You know, I think the learning connection thing is a great option for, you know, if you're in a pinch or something like that. But really, it's up to you guys. Outside of that, you know, we don't have enough computers to loan to every student. So let me just be clear. First option is you have your own equipment with Windows. Option 2 is, okay, you borrow the laptops from us, from our department. And option 3 is you have computers available in the Learning Connections Lab. So I know that was a mouthful, but there's a lot of there's always a lot of kind of for during the first few weeks, overcoming some of these speed bumps for you know, getting software up and running and onboarded. But yeah, that's fine. That's what we're here for. And I've done this several times, so I'm here to ensure that you guys have everything you need in the class. I will be sending out an email. Actually, yeah, you should have actually received that email about an invitation to join the Chabot College GIS organization. Okay, so make sure that you review the rest of the stuff in the course information module, because I have a whole shorter video about, you know, hey, here's how you set that up. You have to make sure you've got your account set up and squared away as you start this course. But yeah, separate issue on that one, that I have a different video on. Okay, try to skip through some of these things quickly. Information technology tools, we analyze spatial relationships. You know, what is this course about? Well, it's in a nutshell, it's taking spatial information and data. When we say spatial, I'm talking about something related to a location or a position on the earth, right? And that could really be anything. I mean, it could be addresses, it could be locations of natural features, something like that. But at its core, we're talking about what is the spatial component and relationship of that. And we're taking that data and we are analyzing it, visualizing it, and you know, re-representing it as, you know, some type of product or what we call deliverable in the industry. And so let's see. You could also think of this as a matter of, you know, you making your own maps on demand. You know, if this is a short answer you're looking for, it's always hard for folks like me to give a short answer for that. But yeah, say I can make maps on my computer of anything I want. That's it. So that you're going to learn to do that in this course. And our whole program is designed to set you up from knowing nothing to being a fully capable and ready candidate for a job as an intern or entry level something, or take your skills and transfer and your knowledge and transfer them to university as you're going to be, getting a bachelor's or whatever it is. Great. So let's see. I'm going to skip through most of these subjects here. It's in writing, and I would advise you guys to just kind of glance and scan through this stuff because it does help kind of give you a sense of like, oh yeah, what's he talking about, like granularly. But I like to cover the nuts and bolts stuff. Attendance. Students always ask me, how do I show up? And you really it's by doing your assignment. There is no like, hey, I'm here every week. I don't do that. We don't have synchronous classes. I'm not going to sit there and ask you to turn your cameras on every something at so and so time. I don't know. To me, my own personal opinion, that's just a little bit of a waste, and not it's just not necessary. I think it doesn't enhance the learning environment whatsoever. It's really more of a, I don't know. Let me check in on you. Let me oversee what you're doing, kind of a thing. But like I said, I have a lot of confidence that you guys will be independent and work independently. And like I said, at least in terms of turning in your lab work, if you want to work together, that's great too. Like I said, but yeah, just by doing your assignments, that's me knowing that you've attended class. I will say, with peace and love, that you do need to if you're struggling in the first couple of weeks and you haven't turned anything in and I haven't heard from you, so it's like I'm looking at the roster and I'm seeing, person X hasn't done anything for 2 weeks straight and hasn't emailed me about I don't have a computer or I've been out of town or whatever. So I just see them on the roll, but I don't see them doing anything. I'm going to have to drop them. I'm going to have to drop them because I'm required to turn in my roster about 2 weeks in. So yeah, don't say I didn't tell you so. But I really want you guys, if you're struggling, whether it's with the equipment or just with the assignments in general, and you're kind of stuck, don't be a ghost. At least reach out and say, hey, don't drop me, please. I'm just working through a couple things and I need a little bit more time. I'm flexible. All right. I have due dates for these assignments, but frankly, they are there to help you stay on track because it's a lot of work. I'll be honest, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do. But generally speaking, the due dates are, I'm flexible and generous with due dates. Okay. Don't take that kindness as a weakness. It's really more a thing of like, I know what it's like to have a busy life and things getting in the way. And this is just a lot of work to do. So not to scare you off, I don't think it's too much work if you do it on the schedule that I have posted for you. Anyways, lectures and labs. Yeah, asynchronous. I give you guys pre-recorded videos. I'm going to show you what this is like. Same with the labs. I'm going to show you what that kind of looks like. I'll go back to Canvas and kind of just quickly review what that means. Things about evaluating you guys. So your points, they're going to come from exams and from labs. So yeah, this course is, since it's online, the exams are proctored online. There's 2 exams. Let's see. When we have an exam, we call that an exam week. So there's no labs that you have to do on top of that or any other text or anything. You basically, the lab starts on, or the exam window opens on Monday, and you have all the way until the following Sunday to complete it. Or to start it, I should say. It's not a rolling clock, or it's not an unlimited clock. There is a time limit that I put on these things. I think it's 2 hours per exam, which should be plenty of time because these are not, I don't think they're that tough. Anyways, so there's exams, and that will be supported by the lecture material. So you got to make sure you are on top of the theory that I'm providing for you guys, right? The lecture is the theory in the background. That's what you'll be tested on. The labs demonstrate your practical ability. You know, how are you at performing these tasks, these you know, specific things I'm wanting you to do with software. There's 12 labs. So if we look at the 2 exams, 12 labs, 560 points, you know, and the grades are percentage, and it's the percentage just comes straight from the points. So you know, what you see on Canvas is what you end up with at the end of the semester. You know, if you're sitting there and your grade is 86 at Canvas, after all the assignments are graded, your exams, your labs, everything, then expect a B on your transcript. Okay, something like that. Just quickly to mention, if you are a DSRC student and you need special accommodations, please reach out, because it is my job to make sure that you are taken care of, and that's something that we can keep private, and I'm happy to help you with that. This term cheating, all of this comes from the Chabot, website. Let me just put it this way. All of your assignments are meant to be, well, they have to be turned in individually. Now, the same with the exams. Those are not teamwork things. Like I said, though, this is a hands-on course, and unfortunately, I should say, or just because due to the circumstances of having an online class, we don't have the perk of, being in person to help each other in the moment, right? On the computer lab. When I came up at school, it was always like you're in a lab and you talk with your peers, or you talk with the teachers. Hey, come over here, help me out with this, this, and this. You sit there for 2 or 3 hours, and then that's that. It's not like that here, right? So if you are feeling like you're in a situation that you need or you want to work with one of your fellow students, by all means, go for it. I encourage you guys to work together. I just don't want you to be submitting the same files, the same, it's actually pretty obvious to me. So that's my little spiel on cheating. I know that was not nearly what it says here in the text, but that's like my little policy towards that. A few other things, these special programs, these are also all very beneficial for you. So I encourage you to look through these as well. And if you need anything here, by all means, check it out. Okay, the college tries to provide you a lot of resources to be successful. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, so back to this. I think we've said enough about the syllabus. Let's go ahead and take a little time discussing our course, our website here on Canvas. Yeah, so like I said, scroll through all of these things first. This getting started will be helpful. Let's see, how to sign up for ArcGIS Online and how to download and install ArcGIS Pro. I want to say these are about 1.5 years old. When I made these videos, as far as I know, the procedures are still the same. So try it. If it doesn't work, let me know. If it doesn't work at all, I'm probably going to get 40 emails saying, hey, it's not working. But just go here after you've received the email I sent you to join the Chabot College Esri website. Okay, that's different than Canvas, by the way. That's ArcGIS Online's thing. So you really are going to be kind of bouncing back and forth between a few different, sites, and you probably bookmark. I bookmark all this stuff, so I know to click, bang, 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 bang. What is it I'm doing? Back over here. I set this course up to be pretty straightforward. It's modules where your modules house a specific topic and subject matter. And what that means is well, let's just say, for example, and start here with, this is self-explanatory, but right here, 9.6, what is geographic information systems? Great place to start, right? Notice that I have a date here and I have a date down here. And the same thing happens when we look at this one, and a date here and a date here and a date here, and so on and so on. These dates are meant to be when your module begins, okay? And on those dates, I will unlock the module for you to observe and work on. So it's not something that you could just go in and do the whole course in a couple days or something like that. It's meant to be at a specific pace. Now, if we look at, module 1 is a good example. So let's take a look at module 1. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things here. Module 1, lesson and objectives. There'll always be a lesson and objectives page. There should be some text. Okay, this is like the textbook. There should be a one video lecture. Okay, so the video lecture is going to relate to this text. And then there will be some type of lab. So lab 1, okay, getting started with ArcGIS Online, and it's a PDF. I'll walk through this one kind of step at a time here. Let's say I'm wanting to start this, this class, this module. I'm gonna click on the module 1 lesson and objectives. And this is my little hey, here's what here's what you're here to do in this module. Give you a little preview of what's in store for you. Oh, look at that. And I see there is an old date on there. Bear with me. Sometimes these things do get copied back and forth. And if you see typos and stuff like this, it's obviously not right. So I'm just going to put Sunday here. If something seems out of the order, oh, that's very strange and doesn't fit with the course, it's just a typo from something that carried over from me, my stuff from a different semester. It's what a lot of us teachers do, honestly. Once you create the stuff, you just keep putting it back out there with slight modifications. Anyways, so yeah, you observe this, get a sense of what you have in store, and then we could do the next button and kind of click through these things. So your first text, it's not too long, right? 7 pages. But I do expect you to go through and read this. Okay, so this is very helpful information. And then what I also put out here for you guys is a little lecture so that you get to hear me teaching you about this stuff. And if you click on the little button, it'll take you to YouTube, where you can watch my, this is an older version of this text, but that's fine. This lecture, that's fine. So here's me discussing if you're hearing notes about previous semesters, just disregard. The majority of this video is me discussing, the text information, the content itself. So tune in for this and really observe and pay attention. And that's going to be helpful for you, because not only, obviously to learn the stuff, but it's part of, it's what you'll be tested on when you go and take the exam. I'll get to that in 1 minute. So let's keep going here. And now we are with a lab. This is lab 1. So I've opened up the lab for this module now. It's probably better. Well, it's either way works, I guess. It streams here, it loads up for you. But the other thing you could do is click on this button here, and it will download the whole thing for you, right? I don't know if you want to print it. There'll be several hundreds of pages, because each lab is about 15 to 30 pages. And that sounds like a lot, but it's really step-by-step stuff. I pulled all this directly from Esri's website, and it's pretty thorough stuff, but it doesn't, I would say on average, a lab will take you an hour or 2 to kind of go through completion, even though it's that many pages. Few minutes per page, you know. Anyways, so this is what your lab is going to look like, something like this in a PDF, and it gives you kind of a little overview, and it gives you step-by-step instructions, what to do. Okay, what to do. Sign into ArcGIS Online. Okay, I kind of know what that is now. So you can click on the link too, click on the map tab, et cetera, right? And so it literally tells you one at a time what to do for these labs. Okay. So the expectation is that this information is thorough enough that you could do it on your own, and you don't need me to sit there and even tell you, click this, click that, click. That's, I don't have, it's kind of redundant in my opinion. So yeah, the idea is to go through and have all these things worked on, and then let's say next here. So this is a very important component. I know this has been a longer video than you probably were hoping to observe here, but I have to make sure I mention this because it will become kind of second nature to you. So your discussion, we're still within the same module, by the way, right? This is still module 1. There will always be a discussion after a lab. Okay. Now I use discussions because they are a great way of sharing all of your guys's lab content results right here on this single place. So it becomes this little hub for all of your guys' work. And number one, it's great for me to come in and just be like, oh, they did it, right? But having it be a discussion gives you guys a forum to start typing a couple things about, hey, I learned this, or this was challenging, or this part didn't work, or whatever, right? So it's a great way for you guys to collaborate and see like, oh, my map looked this way. Well, why did theirs look that way? You know, so at the end of at the end of a module, I'll come in and check this, and there's 40 of you guys signed up right now. So there should be 40 separate posts here where you've replied and shared your maps and your grievances or whatever they are. And that is your turn. That's you turning in your assignment. That's you completing the work. Obviously, you've done the map, the ArcGIS Online map, but I don't consider it done until you've gone in here and you've submitted your discussion, submitted your map and your discussion. Now, you're going to do that in a couple different ways. So I have a little video here about what to do in terms of embedding your maps. Watch this video, okay? If for whatever reason it's not working right, you can also take like a screenshot. I'll accept that as well. Take like a screenshot of your map or a link from ArcGIS Online, because again, once these things are in ArcGIS Online world, they're open for sharing anywhere, anytime, right? So having that information right here available allows me and gives me a quick reference to say somebody did this work and they did it right, or they, you know, or whatever. But yeah, there's many benefits to doing it this way, and it is required. So don't just think you go in, you do the lab, and then you're done. No, you have to take the next step and submit it here. So when this part is complete, there's not an automatic grade, but I will get to it when I can. And as long as I see everything's cool, you'll get 100% on your lab work for that, you know, 30 out of 30 points for that particular assignment. Okay. So yeah, if we go back to the home, that gives you an idea of what a module from start to finish is like, with the experience of going through that. Now, some modules, actually most modules, have more than one lab. So when we go to here, 912, attribute data model. There's only one, well, actually, I guess I have two. I have a text and a PowerPoint for this. So there's just a lot of information in this module, but you're going to want all of this theory here. And then there are 2 labs to work on, and you also have to download data. So you're going to start working in ArcGIS Pro pretty quickly here within the second week of the course. So again, make sure your equipment's squared away quickly here, soon enough. But yeah, once you get into ArcGIS Pro, here's a lab for that. And then here's another lab that you do in ArcGIS Online. You're going to bounce back and forth between these 2 platforms in terms of making the maps. As we get further down this program next semester, you're pretty much going to work in Pro almost all the time. But having some of the online map tools is cool to introduce you to. So yeah, so in this case, you have 2 labs that you have to work on. Now they're related to the same subject, so that's why there's 2 in the same module, right? They're not due on the same day. I gave you guys a week apart to turn them in, so we consider lab 2. Okay, do that by the 18th. Lab 3, okay, do that by the 25th, right? So it should be in order of like every week there's a lab, but it's not necessarily that every week it's a new module, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, even over here, when we get to 926, that's a 3-week module, right? So there's lab 4, 5, and 6 that I give you, for working on in this case. And this one here, even those 3 labs, it's only 1 text that you have to review over that entire course of 3 weeks. Now, it's best to review the text before you do the labs, so you have an idea of like why am I doing these particular types of labs? That's what it's meant to gauge you on. Yeah. So here's one where it's only 1 lab, and then we have a midterm exam on the 24th. That's our exam week. Okay. 1 week window to do that. Actually, here, I'm going to go in and change that right now as we are talking. So I hope these things are up to date. Okay, so I'm going to change this. What did it start on the 24th? And make this due on the 30th. Due on the 30th. And opening on the 24th. Boom. There you go. Show the answers. I'll always show the answers to an exam the following Monday. Okay, the Monday after the due date. Okay, so let's save that. And we could go back to the home. And we were about here. So there's my due date. If you look on your calendar, let me go over to this view here. So if you look on your calendar, you'll see all of these. It doesn't look quite as daunting, right? You'll see what I've updated so far on your calendar here, right? And I still have some things I have to change and edit, but the intention is that every Sunday there should be something from me from this class. Okay, every Sunday, boom, 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 boom. You'll see one thing. Okay. I don't think I've given you guys 2 things to do in a week. Anyways, let's go back quickly here to the course. Yeah, so we've got our first exam, then you get right back into processing. So yeah, 7, so it's a little top heavy. There's 7 labs in the first half of the class, and then 5 labs because we have the Thanksgiving week. I don't give you any assignments there. And then we have 5 labs in the second half. Your final exam, if you want to call it that, final exam, is the last week of class, which is going to start on December 12th. And this one, let's put a due date on this while we're at it. This one will be due on the 12th, the 18th. There we go. The 18th. Okay. So that's what you have to look forward to. And I'll open up the answers the day after. Okay. All right. Like I said, some of these things I'm still working on, so your view is not going to look exactly like mine. Your view looks something like this to start with. Yeah, and the first module to get into here, I did put a prereq that you have to review all these things in the course information. So make sure you have at least click through these things. I do want you to spend some time observing, but you just have to click through so that the system thinks you've done it. Once you've done that and the date has passed, you can go in and start working. And after this one, once this date comes and goes, then you can start working on this one, et cetera, et cetera. I will do everything I can to communicate with you guys on a weekly basis. There are several things that will occur during the semester where I say, hey, here's an update for this, or turn it in this way, or we ran into this technical problem. I'm sure it's going to happen even on the first week. That's kind of what comes with the territory in this type of class. It's not a hard class. It certainly is one that is enlightening if you are interested in this type of work. But it is work, right? You will be doing something every single week. It's also meant to, as I said, prepare you for the next steps. And I'm telling you guys, it gives me great pleasure to help you along this pathway and see you succeed and become professionals in this geospatial world, because this is my space. And anytime I can help students start their journey, it gives me great pride. So I hope that, I know this was a bit longer than we anticipated, but I hope it is helpful for you and that you find this course, that you find success in this course, and that you'll check in with me someday during the office hour if you need to. I'm going to log off now. Just a quick note before I go, I am traveling the first week of this class. It could be a bit inconvenient. If you need something, email me. I will have access to that. I just won't be quick in my responses. So if whatever reason you get behind or you need to get equipment or whatever it is, I'm giving you guys a pretty long leash during these first couple of weeks, especially because I am gone, not out of the country, not away from, emails, but I'm gone from being super attentive in my own space. But I'll do everything I can to help you as possible, okay? Have a good rest of the day and enjoy this class. Bye for now.